The total protein is 7.2 grams per deciliter. The serum protein results are albumin 53.0%, 3.8 grams per deciliter, alpha 1 3.6%, 0.3 grams per deciliter, alpha 2 11.0%, 0.8 grams per deciliter, beta 17.6%, 1.2 grams per deciliter, gamma 14.8%, 1.1 grams per deciliter. What is the Ag ratio? 1.1 equals 3.8 slash. What is the maximum magnification using a bright field microscope? 1000x. How is relative centrifugal force calculated? 1.18x 10 to the minus 5x Rankine x RPM to the 2. What is the calculated LDL cholesterol given the following lipid profile results? Triglycerides 190 milligrams per deciliter, cholesterol 225 milligrams per deciliter, HDL 75 milligrams per deciliter. LDL equals total cholesterol, HDL 112 equals 225 minus 75. Which laboratories are not required to participate in proficiency testing? Laboratories performing weight testing only. Who is responsible for specimen processing, test performance, and reporting test results? Testing personnel. Which type of specimen provides the fastest turnaround time? Whole blood. What do the etched rings on the top of a pipette mean? The last drop is to be blown out after the pipette drains. Which federal agency issues regulations to ensure employee safety? Occupational Safety and Health Administration. How often does CLE require clinical laboratories to have inspections? Every 2 years. Who are the testing personnel for proficiency samples? Any personnel who perform the test. OSHA Hazard Communication Standard requires original container labels to contain all of the following information except which one? Emergency telephone number. Which one of the following is an example of alternate proficiency testing? Split sample sent to another facility using the same test method. Which proficiency testing results do not meet the CLE performance criteria? Fail the same athlete in 2 consecutive PT events. If one control is outside the 95% confidence limits, then what is the most appropriate remedial action to take initially? Repeat the same control. Quality control should be performed and monitored to ensure which one of the following? Reliability. Which federal agency regulates the disposal of hazardous chemicals and biohazardous wastes? EPA. 200 microliters of patient serum is diluted with 800 microliters of saline. What is the final dilution? 1:5. What is the accuracy of a volumetric pipette? 1/1000. All of the following are job duties of testing personnel.
Hey, boss.
Inventory
Good,
control,
boss.
equipment maintenance, and accuracy of reported results.
Oh, Philippines.
A
Oh.
chain of custody
Ah.
is required for all of the
Yeah,
following.
human. But so good. After 16 years.
Legal blood, 3
First time.
and paternity
A lot
test.
of changes, boss. Yeah.
What is the
Good.
calculated cholesterol HDL ratio given the following results? Cholesterol 225
Hopefully
milligrams
next
per
year
deciliter,
again.
HDL 75 milligrams per deciliter.
Yeah.
225 75 equals 3.00.
My parents, my mom and dad. No, they came here before, but they don't like it. Yeah, me. I
Patient
never done it.
with identification of a patient is labeling an add-on test.
You just stay here for like 1 year and 3 months.
How often should
Yeah.
biological safety
They're kind of,
requirements
yeah, they're kind of, old already. So my mom is 81.
which one
Yeah.
of the following
My
is the
dad
most
is
common
78.
analytical error? Not checking specimen
Yeah,
integrity.
a lot of changes in my town.
How often must thermometers be checked against the
Good,
NIST
better,
thermometer?
but traffic still. But when you come back, it's like different, outlook of life again,
To produce reliable
realization of,
results, should a patient rest before having blood drawn to a big study?
say it again. I don't know, not really. It's like a city, it's like there's a still some part of our, town is like remote area, but they have good roads already, development. Ah, no, no, no more. Used to when I was, a lot of improvements.
Fetal fiber what is a solution in use?
Oh, even years.
Food in solution or in equilibrium with excess undissolved
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
saturated
Oh, yeah.
which plan minimizes personal exposure to hazardous chemicals. Chemical hygiene plan.
But now those roads have
All of
concrete,
the
but just
following
they
are
go
required
further
to
up
be
the
kept in the
Yeah,
employee's
you know why?
personnel
Because
records.
corruption's still there. They have budget for those things, but sometimes they
Remedial action
slash it.
documentation
You know what I'm
and
saying, right?
annual performance appraisal.
Exactly right. Still, a
What
lot
is
of
the term used
corruption
to
everywhere.
describe
But still, I want to go back again. You tell us. Mm.
Primary standard. How often must the procedure be reviewed? Annual review is required. Which bloodborne pathogens are of greatest risk to laboratorians? Hepatitis B and HIV. What is the term used to describe material with physical and chemical properties closely resembling the test specimen and containing concentrations of the substance being measured? Control. Following equipment maintenance when is quality control suggested? After any preventative maintenance. Which federal law requires that the competency of laboratory personnel be documented? Clear. Which one of the following is not required to be kept in the employee's personnel records? Continuing education documents. OSHA Hazard Communication Standard requires original container labels to contain all of the following information. Product name, warning label, and manufacturer's name and address. What federal legislation regulates most clinical laboratories? Clinical Laboratory Improvement Amendments. What is the level of complexity of most testing performed in clinical laboratories? Moderately complex. What is a substance that minimizes any change in hydrogen ion concentration? Buffer. All of the following are components of the OSHA tuberculosis plan. All employees with patient contact must be fit for respirators. All laboratory employees are required to have PPD skin tests. Employees who have had a positive PPD must have an annual chest X-ray exam. Which unit of measure refers to 10 to the -3? Milli. How is a 10% bleach solution to disinfect the work area made? 100 milliliters bleach added to 900 milliliters water. In which manual are the directions for running quality control for a specific assay cat? Operating Procedure Manual. What agency approves new test methodologies, instruments, and reagents before they are available for purchase by consumers? FDA. When a fire occurs, when should the hospital operator be notified of the fire? After pulling the alarm. If the mean for PUN is 18.0 and one standard deviation is 0.15, then what is the acceptable range for this control? 17.7 to 18.3 milligrams per deciliter. A procedure has a 2SD variation from the mean value. How many values for the normal population will 2SD include? 95.45%. Which federal agency requires safety training during new employee orientation and annually thereafter? OSHA. What is the most accurate copy for reconstituting control material? Glass volumetric pipettes. What is the pH of pure water? 7.0. Which agency is responsible for enforcing equal pay for equal work? Fair Labor Standards Act. After preventative maintenance by field service, which one of the following is recommended? Verification of QC results. If the mean for PUN is 18.0 and one standard deviation is 0.13, then what is the coefficient of variation? 0.7% equals 0.13/18.0. Which federal agency regulates packaging, labeling, and transportation of biological products? Department of Transportation. Which one of the following is not a job duty of the testing personnel? Interpretation of highly complex testing. Which federal law defines the minimum wage and overtime compensation? Fair Labor Standards Act. Which federal agency regulates disposal of biohazardous waste? Environmental Protection Agency. All of the following are pre-analytical errors except which one? Transcription error entering a manual result. What is the most common post-analytical error? Clerical errors. Which one of the following statements concerning CEUs is false? CEUs are mandated by the College of American Pathologists. Reactivity is what color diamond using the National Fire Protection Agency code? Yellow. Which statistical term most specifically describes analytical precision? Coefficient of variation. Tracking and trending customer complaints concerning laboratory is a responsibility of which area? Quality assurance. Which labor law requires an employer to provide reasonable accommodations to a wheelchair-bound employee? Americans with Disabilities Act.
Would Harris and Megan attention obligation to Harris and Megan?
Services to establish protected information.